All right, get around, figure transformation. And what I want to discuss a little bit is lat pulls, why the importance of them, as I kind of discussed in another video, but ways that we can make this work at home. So if we have a TRX, the hard part outside of kind of, again, a cable machine or a lat pull is that kind of angles that we are able to take. We get a little bit more options at a gym, but if we're exercising at home and we got an option for a TRX, what we can do is we're going to squat all the way down. So again, let my arms hang. The hard part here is not to use too much legs, but you need to use your legs as much as possible. So I want to try and get my back as straight as I can. Over here a little bit. And so I can either take this grip or this grip, palms in or palms out. And again, I'm trying to focus on my lats, so I want to make sure I get a big stretch. The hard part with this is, again, making sure that you're using your lats, okay, and not pulling with your arms. So this is a more difficult option for people. I'm going to go palms in, pull up, and I'm letting myself down with my back. The hard part is, again, grip like I've been talking about. Depending on how we hold something dictates what kind of muscles get fired in and through the body. Same thing with a push-up. If our pressure is on our outside, it's going to target more of the outside muscles. If it's on the inside, it's going to target more of the inside. Very similar again, like martial arts. It's all about kind of angles that we take, and all too often we're just kind of not getting enough big angles, and our muscles are getting tighter and tighter, so we're changing the angles over time, which is leading to postural issues and whatnot. Another option, I kind of like this one, I was trying to come up with a way to mimic a lat pull. So a lot of times, again, like a resistance band, if you're sitting down, I tried kind of pulling with the hands. It just changes the grip and changes the exercise. And I know a lot of people have a hard time with kind of holding things a certain way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the resistance band. Now this could be anchored to a door, whatever. I'm going to come back to a resistance I feel comfortable with. I'm going to hinge over. So I'm trying to get my back straight. So again, imagine me doing a lat pull, and I'm going to pull. The hard part here, just like anything else as I've discussed in other videos, it is the head. The minute that head starts to move, I start to change my exercise. I start to change the muscles that I activate, and all too often I start bringing in cervical flexors, neck traps, which I kind of want to minimize when I'm doing something that isn't supposed to involve. So when I get into this position, I'm just kind of letting my arms hang. All too often I see in the gym and other places, people grab stuff and they hold. Now that's fine if you're using a heavy weight, but even then if I'm using a heavy weight, I want to start back here, okay? All too often we're tensing before we even kind of start the exercise, if you will. And again, if we're tensing, that changes everything. So we got to understand that the more we tense, the more we're kind of really not achieving what we're wanting to or designed to. So I'm going to lean back, hinge over, and I'm going to pull. So as best I can, I want to keep my elbows in alignment with my back and my body. So again, I'm kind of trying to mimic that lat pull. I got to make sure I kind of retract here, but pull down the shoulder blade when I'm doing this. I all too often realize I was packing the shoulder. Now, while that's important, we also want to make sure we're again getting these big stretches. So I could also do this if I wanted to, one arm at a time, leaning over and pull. Now I'm going to start to bring in my legs, my hips, my core. It's the good benefits of kind of doing one at a time as opposed to doing two. It starts to bring in your hip complex, core, and everything else. So here's some helpful tips on ways to elicit a lat pull exercise at home if you don't have access to a gym. Hopefully you found this helpful, and I'm going to go into a back exercise for you routine.